Have you ever been driving down the highway and seen one driver following really just way too closely to another car? It's dangerous. But it does give rise to an important question. Hey, welcome to Mornings with Bishop Robert. Thanks for joining me. I do this for you. My goal is to introduce people to the Jesus they never knew, and to help them get to know Him and His Word personally and better. So if our time together today speaks to your heart, let me invite you to like, subscribe, and share this with a friend. Well, I feel frustrated when someone does it to me, and I've got to fight the temptation to brake check the driver into considering more space. Now, for those who are looking at this and don't know what that means, a brake check is a term we use in the USA that describes sort of a quick pump of the brake pedal intended to cause the person driving too closely to jam on their brakes. Well, I've watched enough instant karma videos to know that giving into that impulse seldom, if ever, ends well. And even though I've seen videos where the brake checks cause multi-car collisions with serious damage, I still have to battle the temptation. To be honest, not many of the temptations that arise in those moments are worthy of a godly bishop. A couple of days ago, my wife and I were out doing some shopping. And as we pulled our car into the parking space, I noticed a bumper sticker on the rear window of the car next to ours. It was a simple black sticker with a single question in type that, it wasn't overly large. And it said, "Are you following Jesus this closely?" I had to laugh because it instantly reminded me of the times when I was the one pressuring the car in front of me with my proximity and impatience. And it's a great intro to today's verse. If we say we're His, we must follow the example of Christ. Jesus is never going to brake check you. He never looks at you and thinks to himself, "Whoa, they are way too close." He's called us to follow Him. And the closer, the better. Following Christ does not mean simply saying a prayer or even joining a church. It means living your faith in a way that impacts the world in your circle of influence. Living your faith. You see, a living faith is going to be seen in your actions and your words. A living faith will change your choices. In much the same way as getting married changes just about every aspect of your life, binding you irrevocably and to decisions and actions that reflect that relationship. Giving your life to Jesus will lead to changes that, everyone can see. The living expression of your love for your spouse will cause you to do certain things and refrain from doing certain things because you treasure the relationship. No one who's truly in love with their husband or wife feels that expressions of committed love are a chore. Things like being sexually faithful, treating them with honor and compassion, holding hands and spending time together. These are joyful parts of a living relationship. They just flow naturally out of vibrant marriages. I feel that the marriage relationship is a particularly good example, especially since the Bible calls the church the bride of Christ. Our living relationship with Jesus will cause us to do certain things and refrain from doing certain things because we treasure our relationship with Him. We don't feel our expressions of committed love, prayer, worship, ministry in our gifts and calling. We don't feel those are a chore. Those are joyful parts of a living relationship. They flow naturally out of a vibrant faith. Whoever says, I'm married and I cherish my spouse, but doesn't remain sexually faithful, is a liar. And the truth is not in that person. But if anyone obeys the vow they made, love for their spouse is truly made complete in them. You can see it in their actions. It's displayed in their daily choices. Treasured relationships always come with boundaries and expectations. They protect what we cherish and set it apart from the commonplace. Rules, if you will, but things we must do. And if we say we're His, we must follow the example of Christ. We must. It's at the same time a command and an observation. The Bible verses leading up to today's verse say this: we know that we've come to know Him if we keep His commands. Whoever says, I know Him, but does not do what He commands, is a liar, and the truth is not in that person. But if anyone obeys His word, love for God is truly made complete in them. And this is how we know we're in Him. If we say we're His, we must follow the example of Christ. So follow. Follow very closely. And as you continue to let Jesus fill your life, He'll cause your love for Him to grow deeper and stronger. So let the love you have for Christ grow. Then let the love you have for Christ show. Follow Him into the situations where He calls you to be the expression of His love. Live your faith out loud. Let people see Jesus in you, and He'll draw them to Himself. Because if we say we are His, we must follow the example of Christ. Friends, that's all the time I've got for today. But could I ask you to help me introduce people to the Jesus they never knew, and then help them get to know Him and His Word personally and better? Please like this video. It will help more people see it. And then click follow or subscribe so you and I can get together every day. If you click the link in the description, you'll get a free copy of my book, Count to One. Hey, and one more thing. Share this video with a friend, would you? Because as you do, well, you're part of the team, touching hearts all over the world with the love of Jesus. Thanks for helping.